Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're putting on our detective hats to crack a classic accounting mystery, the unbalanced trial balance. Let's get right into it.
All right, let's dive straight into the crime scene. Your trial balance is off, and the difference, it's exactly 4,500 rupees. Now, this number isn't just some random mistake. No, for us, it's our first biggest clue.
So here's what the books are telling us. Debits are at 1,25,000 and credits are at 1,20,500. And what this tells us, right off the bat, is that we're probably hunting for a one-sided error. Either someone posted an extra debit somewhere or a credit just, poof, vanished into thin air.
So why is this such a big deal? Well, you've hit a complete roadblock. Think about it. You can't even start on your profit and loss statement or the balance sheet until this is fixed. We have to solve this mystery before we can do anything else.
Yeah, you can really think of an unbalanced trial balance as the smoke alarm for your accounts. The second it goes off, it's a blaring signal that something's gone wrong. There's an error hiding somewhere in the books, and it's our job to go find it.
Okay, so where do we start? Well, just like in any good mystery, you start with the usual suspects. In the world of accounting, there are a few common culprits that almost always cause this kind of chaos. So let's line them up and see who fits the bill.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this. Each type of error leaves its own unique fingerprint. See, things like omissions or double postings, they create a difference that's the exact amount of the transaction. But look at those last two suspects. Yeah, they leave a totally different kind of clue.
So let's zero in on that for a second. Which one of these guys has a signature so unique that it actually doubles the mistake in the final difference? I mean, come on, that's a key forensic technique for any accounting detective, right?
And here it is. It's the wrong side posting error. It's a classic. Imagine you were supposed to credit an account for, say, 100 rupees, but you accidentally debited it instead. What happens? Well, you didn't just miss the credit you were supposed to make, you also added a debit you weren't supposed to make. The result? A 200 rupee difference. Exactly double the original amount. See how that works? All right. We've got our lineup of suspects. Now we need a plan. A great detective doesn't just rely on gut feelings, right? Nope. They follow a step-by-step procedure to get to the truth.
And here's your four-step plan of attack. It's super straightforward. First, you do the simple stuff, just re-add the columns. You'd be surprised how often that's the problem. Then, you hunt for the exact amount of the difference. If that comes up empty, and this is the real trick, you look for half the difference. Why? Because that could point straight to our wrong side culprit. And finally, you just double-check that every single account actually made it onto the list in the first place.
Okay, theory's over. Let's get practical. Let's take this checklist and apply it to our mystery. We've got our difference of 4,500 rupees. We've got our procedure. It's time to find out what really happened.
Okay, step 2 on the checklist. Let's scan the ledgers, the journals. Are we looking for a transaction of exactly 4,500? Did we maybe forget to post it, or did we post it twice by accident?
And nothing. That's a dead end. This little search tells us it's probably not a simple omission or a double posting of that exact amount. So our first suspects are cleared. Time to dig a little deeper.
All right, so if the exact amount isn't the clue, we move on to step 3. We're going to look for half the amount. This is where we might just find our prime suspect, that sneaky wrong side posting error. So what's half of our difference?
Right, 2,250 rupees. This is our new lead. This is the number we're hunting for now. We need to find an account with this exact balance that might just be sitting in the wrong column.
And bingo, we got it. Case closed. A quick look reveals the furniture account. Now, furniture is an asset, right? It should have a debit balance of 2,250. But look where it was, sitting in the credit column. By moving it over to the correct debit side, we solve the whole thing. That one little move creates a total swing of 4,500 rupees. And just like that, our books are perfectly balanced.
So, we're done. The trial balance tallies, everything looks good, we can finally move on. The mystery is solved, or is it? You see, just because the numbers match up, that doesn't mean everything is perfect.
And this, right here, is maybe the most important thing to remember from all of this. A balanced trial balance. It only really confirms that the debit and credit postings were arithmetically equal. It absolutely does not mean your books are flawless.
And here's why. There are these other kinds of errors, these hidden threats, that a balanced trial balance will never, ever catch. We're talking about things like errors of principle, or transactions that were just completely forgotten and never recorded at all. Or even compensating errors, where two totally separate mistakes managed to cancel each other out. Sneaky, right?
And that leaves us with one last, kind of spooky question, doesn't it? Your books are balanced, but they might not be right. So what other stories could those numbers be hiding? That, my friends, is a mystery for another time. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.